Joined by Head Coach Jimmy Patsos, Kadeem Smithen, Prince Oduro.
You know, we did a great job on Tyler Nelson. We lost flavors a couple times. What's funny is we played triangle in 2, and that's when they got their threes. When we had 2 guys on them, that's when they got their threes. You know, Kadeem, boy, I'm proud of you, Kadeem. You really battled. And Prince, you played well. I mean, especially in the first half. I know you missed some free throws, but that's kind of he's working on it. I just want to let everybody know Prince is working on his free throws very hard, and he makes a lot in practice. So maybe it's a little lights. Maybe we should come down here and shoot more down here. But, you know, it's just one of those, you know, we played really well had some good games against Fairfield, and we came out and we were ready to go. Really proud. We could have hung our heads after a tough loss and everything, and we came out and we're leading at halftime. Everything's good at halftime. And then we just kind of started slow in the second half. So we have to just kind of work on that. We've been an interesting team this year. We're learning lots. But there we are, 70-69, you know. If you take 2 or 3 games out of our thing, and those were poor performances on our behalf early, we are like 1 or 2 points away in every game. And that's the good and bad of it. You know, the bad of it is that we needed to win those games. But we have to get better at those. In other words, we've been in so many close games, right, Kadeem?
Yeah.
I did expect us to close a few of them out, getting experience during the year. In other words, you got it, because there's no quit in that locker room and everything. Everybody's fine. You know, we fired up at halftime and thought we were going to come out and play great, and they hit a couple threes. They take a lot of threes. But really, I mean, Tyler Nelson, we caused him as many problems as anybody this year, right there. We just couldn't quite get it done. We can't seem to get the whole group on. And I don't mean effort or attitude. I'm just saying guys making shots. Just, you know, Horn and Tom had been playing really well. According to their numbers, it doesn't look so good here. I have to watch the tape. Khalil's just battling, and Kadeem just couldn't be proud of you, brother. I mean, that's just Ryan Oliver was back there cheering. His last game here was great. And we have to go down to St. Peter's. We get a day off. We got to go to St. Peter's, and it's just another tough loss. I'm telling you, it's easy to quit or easy to feel sorry yourself when you have close losses, right? But we're doing all right. You know, we're not happy, but in practice and stuff, and you can come to practice. Single A's comes to a lot of them. We're like we're keeping our energy and attitude towards the winning thing, but that's a tough one, you know. Triple overtime, is it triple overtime, and that one right there. I'll take any questions.
In the first half, did you think it was more your offensive against their defense, or kind of your defense?
Good question. No, our defensive game plan was good, and even though we played triangle in 2 and they scored a couple, it threw them off guard. They missed some threes, and we were doing a good job rebounding. Prince was a force in the first half. He was just doing his thing, and that's where you're going to just see Prince Oduro keep getting better. You know, he's only 19.
Yeah, 19.
He's only 19. He's scratching the surface now. We got to sustain that in the second half. But our defense was good. Yeah, there was a conscious effort. We put him on some of the shooters too. You saw him guarding the guard out there. And then that turned into some buckets for us, you know. But there was a play at the end of the half. We like I said, we're just young. We were really playing well, and then at the end of the half, we gave up a wide open 3 to their best player. You know, that's where I'll accept it as coaching. But the players have to grow up a little and say, we know. If you don't know who Tyler Nelson is, I mean, he's on people's draft boards. He's the top 10 scorer in the country, and we lost him at the end of the half, and then we end up losing by 1. So our defense, while it was really good, it wasn't good enough for 40 minutes.
Jimmy, is that first half from Prince what you'd like to see from him? I mean, is that what we can
Yeah, Prince, pick it up.
in the future?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Be a force in this league in the future. Coach is on me. I practiced yesterday, so I'm just trying to buy into all the stuff he's talking about and keep learning.
You know, he's just right around the basket. He's good, but he's got a lot of good moves from like the foul line. But I was like, he's becoming one-dimensional. I'm like, I know you don't want to try right going. Doesn't really want to try some new stuff because he's, you know, trying to fit in. And no, you got to go. You got to just show him your whole game. You're not going to make every shot, but I mean, he was 7 for 10. That's great.
52% from the field for them in the second half. Was some of those quick screen and roll, pick and roll stuff?
Yeah, a couple pick and rolls. We didn't get in there and help enough. And there was a couple times. See, we took Prince and put him on. They did a good job. That little guard from Lithuania did a really good job. Because Saruna Jasikevičius, he knows who he is, who's the Lithuanian coach. I coached him at Maryland. We had to make some choices. We took Nelson. We put him on flavors sometimes, and him on Nelson. They bring him away from the basket. They made some layups. I thought a couple guys should have come over and helped, but you're not going to play perfect. They've been averaging crazy points, and we held them to 70, and that's with some free throws at the end. So they were pretty good. We didn't execute on offense. We took a couple shots we shouldn't have. taken in the second half, a couple we didn't make. And then the free throws, nobody's doing that on. Hey, guy sent me a book on free throws. I started reading it. In other words, 2 months ago, I said, here, guy sent me a book on free throws. It's like from the 60s. And a lot of it's how you shouldn't address if there's someone shooting bad, but we'll take anything. And it's not just Prince. I mean, Evan went 0 for 3, and he's a great shooter. Whether it's just the draining of the triple overtime, we didn't dwell on that. We took Monday off. Okay, Tuesday wasn't so pleasant for a couple minutes of film. That's it. You were there. The rest was good. Kadeem made all his free throws, 5 for 6 down the line. You can't shoot. There's nothing more glaring than shooting 45% from a free throw line in the 1-point game. That's on me. I got to find something different to do.
What can you do, do you think, in the offseason to improve the free throw shooting? Is there something technically you can correct?
Just keep sticking with it, not losing faith, just repetition. Just keep working on it. That's what I think I need to do.
Did they make some kind of they tried to alter something, like try to keep your elbow from flying out or something?
Yeah, I've been trying different things to keep my elbow in, but this offseason, I'll figure it out.
Kadeem, for you, defensively, what were you trying to do with Kyle Nelson when you had him out there?
I'm trying my best for him not to get the ball, because once he gets the ball, of course, he's a threat. He can shoot, he can drive. He's a really good player. So on the defensive end, I try my best for him not to get the ball. When he gets it, have a hand up. We practice it. We call it Virginia, hand up, retreat back. So, yeah.
You did a good job at that. We tried a little early to put Tom on him, but he was a little too quick for him. But Kadeemer, great job. You've had a lot of good moments here. You're playing hard. Keep going. We got lots more to play, and we got to try and get a road. There's some goals left. I want to get a road win. I want to go to St. Peter's and beat them. I want to go to St. Peter's because we haven't beat them since I've been here. There's stuff to do. See what happens with young people is they get disappointed. Whereas I keep seeing hope because we're so close. We're close with every team. We're hope. The fans. I want to thank the fans. They've been unbelievable. They've been amazing, and to keep coming in there was people in the end zones and stuff, and that's why you just got to battle for them. I looked at our numbers before the game in our conference right now, and there's a lot of good stuff. There's some bad stuff, but we don't have a go-to guy, but we got a lot of guys. But everybody's got to kind of be on, and tonight I got to go watch the tape, but. Good defensive effort, and it's going to take defense to win the tournament. You're not going to win by scoring 80 points.
Is there a reason to think, Kadeem, that when you get to the tournament, some of these close losses you've had, particularly at home, might give you the experience you need to try and flip it around in the tournament?
The tournament's a whole new season. Anything can happen. So that's what we feel.
We want to win Sunday, right? Of
course. Want to get that road win. When it comes to the tournament, it's a whole new season. We're going to go with the same mentality we went in last year with.
So, Jimmy, the way that you played tonight against Fairfield, Sunday against Mountain, teams you could see Thursday, Friday next week.
Uh-huh.
Does that give you confidence going into that?
Yeah, we haven't lacked confidence. We get a little swagger every time in the game. It's just sometimes when we get a little impatient and not having a true point guard. And he's a 3-man playing the point. And sometimes point guards just make an easy play for you. But, yeah, look, we're looking forward to the tournament. This hasn't been the easiest season, but we've been having them. Lots of my thing is different guys are getting better each day. Now we're not consistent, and with consistency comes momentum. So we're not consistent. We don't have I can just pick games out where 5 out of 7 played well. Then the next game 5 out of 7 played well, but they were two different guys. That keeps happening. We're spinning the dial, and it's not always. Usually you get the same 3 or 4 guys. That's how you get consistent. So it's hope in the unseen, as they say, which was a really good book about how when you choose someone and you put them in a situation, what happens. We're having lots of guys step up. That's the good and bad. That's the paradox of this season. Because if we could just get 6 out of 7 or 6 out of 8 or everybody or 3 or 4 to do it every game, does that make sense? It's kind of a potpourri of who shows. Like Tom Herter, I'm not picking on him or anything. He's been one of our best players at home this year. And tonight, his numbers, I have to watch the tape. That's nothing against Tom. He's young. This is Tom's first season, Prince's first season, Evan's first season really playing. Kadeem's got some experience. Jordan Horn's first season, Christian Bentley's first season, Manny Camper. Khalil Richards played a little. Shivers has some experience. No one else. Because we had 4 guys that played last year, so many minutes, and then Nico's gone. So we had a lot of minutes that are all new. My disappointment is because I wanted these kids to have a better experience, but we've had a good run. We've had Memphis on the ropes, Louisville, they're going to have memories of all this, but we're not there yet. This is about going to St. Peter's and getting a win. seeing what that does for us, and then coming here and tournaments one game at a time. This thing's not over. There's a lot of basketball to be played. That being said, if we could just get a little more consistency, we could build momentum. And that's where I look back and say, how could I have done a better job? It's frustrating because I'll leave you with this. It would be kind of easier if we got blown by 20. I don't want that to happen. They're not going to let that happen. Because then you can sit back and say, here's where we make all these decisions or moves. But, I'm trying to move chess pieces, but we're, right there. I'm not Kasparov or anything, but I'm trying to move the chesses in the right way. And we're so friggin' close, I don't want to, move too many. I want to kind of stay with the battle plan. Right?
Yeah.
The battle plan?
Yep.
That's it. Locker room's open.